Hello everybody, it's your boy Two Phones back again with another informative video. And this video is about my experience using Android One on a Nokia device, Android device. This is the Nokia 6.1. This is the 2018 model. But it stays up to date, it's fully updated. I have February security patch, Android 9 Pie, and all the features that Nokia brings to this device. Now, I don't think a lot of people understand what Android One is or what Android One does for your device or for your software experience, but basically, it gives you a clean Google like software overhaul. Basically, like if you've seen how the pixels look, how the software looks on the Google Pixel, that's technically what you're getting with Nokia or any Android One device without any extra skin layer or bloatware or anything like that. It's a simple layout. It's super clean, easy to use, right out the gate. As soon as you power up the phone, you got fast boot ups. No bloatware, no OEM taking over the whole phone or carrier. So my experience with Android One for the past 4 months using this Nokia device, um, it's simplicity, right? It's simplicity. It's easy to use. There's not too much in the way. I don't have to. To be honest, I really don't feel like I need to download an extra launcher or anything like that. I can still put the widgets I want on my home screens. I have a lot of gestures, so I can change how I pick up for phone calls, uh, how I don't answer phone calls, how I can talk to Google Assistant. Also, it includes Google's digital well-being application and settings. I have a good battery optimizer setting built into the system itself, and that's what you get with Android 9 Pie. It's digital well-being and the battery optimization for big apps or small apps or what have you. Also, I'm running on a Snapdragon 600 series, which I still believe is one of the best. One of the best, regardless if people hate it or love it. One of the best. Um, and it's great on battery life. I actually have to admit, standby time or just standby with the Nokia 6, even on a 3000 milliamp battery, even if I didn't use it as much, I could put it down and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It lets the apps like, hey, shut down or, you know, just stop playing around, stop using up RAM or stop using whatever. And then when I pick up the phone or do whatever I have to, then it gets back to going. And also, to be honest, I don't mind the ambient display. I actually kind of like that. Like I think Motorola uses it, and of course the Nexus line. I think the Pixel line uses it, although they may have always on display. But give or take, do you think that uses up a lot of battery versus just picking up your phone from a glance? And oh, I see notifications. Oh, I see the battery. Oh, okay, I see how much battery I got left. I see what time it is, see what the date. I see what's going on Twitter from a glance. I don't have to necessarily open, I don't necessarily have to open up the phone just see what's going on. And another thing I like about the Nokia 6 is they give me the option to double tap to wake. Although it works, but then it doesn't. Okay, so yeah, it gives me an option to double tap to wake, where I can see notifications from a glance and things and that sort. Um, yeah, I did mention that I didn't like how the placement of the fingerprint is, but guess what? This device has Face ID. Well, not the Face ID that you're normal to, but it has trusted faces, which basically is included with most Android devices, but it has trusted faces where all I have to do is hit the power button and it'll recognize my face. Now I can just swipe up and I'm into the device. Now, a lot of people hate this stock Android theme and things of that sort, but I like it. I like it for the simple fact that the OEMs still can put in whatever features they want to, just as long as, you know, they stay within the Google guidelines and policies with Android One and promising, you know, pushing out updates and security patches for as long as the warranty, whether it's 2-year OS updates, 3-year security patches. You won't have any, you know, worries about that, because that's what the OEM is supposed to do, supposed to update your phones on a timely manner, timely basis. And I must say, with Nokia, they've been on point. Nokia has been on point with this device. Now, it's not the highest end Nokia phone. I get it, it's the mid-range Nokia phone. And yes, it only has like 3 gigabytes of RAM. But for my usage and from what I've used, the apps, they open and close, and when I reopen them, they go right back to where they're supposed to be at. So Android One, well, with this device, it's optimized. It's optimized for the apps. I don't necessarily have to, you know, download a Lite app or Android Go app. And I kind of want to talk about that, but that could be for a different video. But if you guys don't understand what those are is, okay, so apps, so Lite app versions on Google Play Store are for applications or for phones that don't have enough RAM and storage, and you want to save a lot of battery for it. That's what Lite apps are, basically. So you can get one for Facebook, Line, Skype, even Google Maps, I think, has a Lite version. So if you don't have enough RAM and you keep seeing that your apps keep refreshing themselves or closing out for no reason, then you might want to disable the bigger app hogger and download the lighter apps of that same particular social media service or network, or even video app and browser. They do have light browsers too. But is Android One, I would say, is Android One something that should be relevant? I think it should be relevant because a lot of people, you know, they buy these cheap phones, and I don't know if they think they're supposed to get updates or they assume that they're going to get updates, but they're not, because most of these phones are either you're getting them from a prepaid service, you're getting them from a carrier, or something like that. You're going to like Walmart and you're buying them. Now, Walmart and Target and all of them, they don't disclose this, all right? And I don't think Best Buy either, but Best Buy does sell Android One devices, like the Motorola One, Nokia 6. I think they have the Nokia 9 Pure View now. So there are several options to get Android One device, and to, you know, to get the experience of what pure Android is and how it's laid out for you, and you'll get the easiest, you know, setup, kind of like how people like iOS, how it's just so easy to use. Well, the Google software, the Google version of Android is just like that. Now, what can it include? It can include anything that the OEM will want on top, but not necessarily have to have software skin. Now, a lot of people, they claim they like software skin, they claim they're a big fan of it, but what's the thing they do most? They download the Nova Launcher. Why? Because they don't like how icons look on the phone, they don't like how everything is set up on the phone, and they want a cleaner look and feel. But my thing is, why wouldn't you want an Android One software? Why wouldn't you want the Android One device, knowing that you're promised security patches, knowing you're promised updates up to 2 years, and you get the best optimization for your device, whether it's a 3 gig or 6 gig of RAM device. And not only that, this is a dual SIM device where I can put more than one SIM card in it, or I can put a SIM card and an SD card. So I have 2 options. I can just use 2 smartphone services, 2 cell phone services, or I can use 1 cell phone service and put 128 gigabyte SD card in here, which are very affordable right now, and I can be practically happy with it. All right. Now, what I like about the Nokia 6 device is black copper. It's black and red copper. I like the trimmings. I like the trimmings, the red color. I like the trimmings on this device. I actually like the battery hump a little bit. I just think it could have been a little smaller since that it wasn't no triple camera lens in the back. It does have a 16 megapixel camera, and it's not bad at all. It's not bad at all when you go outside, take pictures. The front-facing camera isn't bad at all either. You can get great selfies with it. Let's see. I like some of the Nokia gestures. Like they have, once again, like I said, the double tap. You can double tap to wake it, and then you can use your fingerprint. You use your fingerprint to unlock. You can use it to bring down the notifications. They also have night light, and they got screen capture. Also with this, when you do the power button, you can hold it down and you can screenshot right from the power button. So, I mean, there's a lot to like, and then there's a lot to dislike. Now, of course, you're going to dislike the bezels. You all hate bezels. I don't understand. Why would you hate bezels? And this is a 16:9. This is not 18:9 ratio, aspect ratio screen. The fingerprint sensor isn't the most accurate. It's not the most accurate in spot. But, I mean, it has NFC. I can use Google Pay. I can use PayPal on it. It's not water resistant. So that's something you might not like. Also, no Kai wireless charging. There's no wireless charging on this device. And there's no in-display fingerprint. So you will dislike this device. But the overall experience, this is what I want to talk about, guys. The overall experience with Android One isn't bad. It isn't bad. Like I said, you still got options. If I want to, I can remove this widget. Still got options to remove widgets. Still got options to add widgets, however you like. I can put all types of widgets. I can put, if I want to, I could put the Google Play Music widget. I mean, I have other pages, so I can do whatever I want to with it. Now, there is a dislike. You can't remove that, like on stock, on the main launcher. You can't remove that. So if you do not like the calendar and weather being up front, then you might want to download the Nova launcher or launcher, whichever launcher you feel is comfortable to you. Now, a lot of you all might not like how, you have to swipe up and stuff like that to, get to your app drawer. You might think this is hard. I mean, at first, it takes some time to get used to, but, it is what it is. You might not like that, okay? You might not. But you might not. You might like it. You might like it. I mean, this is where Android is going now. So, I mean, they do still have the old school, on-screen buttons. They still have the on-screen buttons. They still have the old school on-screen buttons if you want those. But see, this is the point. You have choice. You have a choice. You can pick and choose how you want your setup, how you like your phone set up and everything like that. And Nokia and Android One doesn't get in the way of you customizing your device the way you want to. So you can customize it however you like. Now, I do want to go ahead and get into digital well-being. And it's this right here at the bottom. So digital well-being, basically, it shows you how long you've been using your device and what apps you've been using, things in that sort. So keep that in mind. A lot of phones don't even have this included, even on Android 9 software, because they're not using Google software. So this basically breaks down your usage, your notifications, how many times you unlocked your phone, what apps you've been using the most, and stuff like that. And you do got an option to wind down. So you can, turn off your apps so you won't get any distractions when you go to sleep, taking a nap or reading a book or cooking or what have you. Whatever you're doing, you can change the settings, and there you have it. Also, I want to talk about the battery. All right, so let's go into the battery. Okay, so based on this, it's saying it should last me over 11 hours or 94%. You got apps running normally, and it will show you this adaptive battery option. So use adaptive battery, limit battery for apps that you don't use often. So whatever apps you don't use often, it will limit the usage of battery, and not limit the usage, but limit the usage of that application so it won't drain your battery. Now, this can be all found in Android 9 and Android 1 devices and stuff like that. And what also you gotta realize is Android 1 phones are much more affordable. This phone only costed $200. They have phones cost $100, but it all depends on what you want out of your smartphone. Do you want all the bells and whistles? Do you want your phone just to work? Do you want the phone to have the best cameras? Do you want the phone with the most RAM? Do you want the phone with the most memory? Do you want the phone with the highest spec processor in the freaking world? And things in that sort. To be honest, 4 months, this phone still runs brand new. Like, I know it's not my daily driver, but I've used it. I used it for live streams on YouTube. And that's another thing I want to talk about with the Nokia phone. Now, the camera app, a lot of people are sleeping on this camera app. So this camera app on this subpar $200 device has Pro mode, all right? It has Pro mode, it has panorama, it has square, it has video, it has slow motion, time lapse, and 4K. It has 4K playback, all right? So it has 4K video on the rear, 1080p on the front. It's 1080p display too. So a lot of people are not paying attention to this. Also, it has AWB auto, it has ISO auto, it has regular auto, and you can change the exposure. Like, you can change the exposure. It has like so many different softwares on here, so many different options and settings. It got Google Lens built in, and yeah, it has portrait mode, single. It has dual. A lot of people are not talking about dual. A lot of people are not talking about dual picture. It got PIP mode, picture in picture mode. So it's a lot to like about these Nokia software and Nokia devices. And not only that, but Android One. It's a lot to like about Android One. And let me go ahead and go to this one app that Nokia has, tailor-made for the Nokia. So it has this application called My Phone. Well, it used to be called Support or something like that, but now it's called My Phone, and you can go there and you can check out the Nokia community. You can get tech support from Nokia right from your phone. They give you recommended applications to use right for your device that's particular, that will run smooth for your device. So really, you can't complain about a smartphone that works and runs the way you want it to. Other than that, I mean, and voice calls are great on this device. Voice calls are great. Call quality is awesome. You got VoLTE in SIM1, but not SIM2. 4G only in SIM2, so keep that in mind. If you use unlimited data on this smartphone, VoLTE is in slot SIM1. All right, but you can, like I said, you can have 2 SIM cards in here. You're gonna have one for calling and one for data. It's your preference. Once again, it's always about your preference. Still got the headphone jack, still got FM radio. So I don't know, man. I don't know what the big fuss is about why Android One sucks. But in my experience, after 4 months using the Nokia 6.1 on Android One, this is what the box looks like. And it's got Android One. I put it like this: you don't want to spend $1,000 on a phone that's not going to get updated. Then get you an Android One device that promises updates, and you don't have to wait on T-Mobile or AT&T or Verizon or Sprint to send out the update. This phone is unlocked on GSM, AT&T, or T-Mobile, and there is no bloatware. The apps work perfectly fine on this phone. So, like I said, the only thing is it's a 5.5 inch 1080p display, and it got bezels. So if you hate bezels, I say don't get it. But if you don't mind the bezels, it's really grippy, and it's not glass back. So a lot of people gonna hate that too. It's not glass back. It's copper. Like, come on, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's my thoughts on it, man. I think it should be brought attention to the consumers. Android One should be brought attention to the consumers, and a lot of users should want to have updates. A lot of users should want to have security. So this is my whole vent and rant about Android One and why I like it. I think it's another way to go if you, I want to say if you can't afford the Pixels, but if you don't like the Pixels and you want something to look different, you don't want the notch, so it is what it is, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on Android One? Do you even know this existed? And why aren't you on Android One? There are a lot. I'll leave the link in the description box. There are a lot of phones out that a lot of people are sleeping on because they're getting updates. They're not the best. They got skins. They don't have skins. My fault. They don't have skins. I wouldn't say locked down to Google. They're not locked down to Google. It's just they're using the Google software where it feels like, oh, well, I didn't have to spend $800, $900 on a Pixel. Or I didn't have to spend $700, $600 on a Pixel. I could have got this $200 smartphone or $150 smartphone that runs as smooth as a Pixel. And let me remind you, this device is open up. You can port over the Google Pixel camera. So if you want the Pixel camera software, you can port it over to an Android One device. But it has to have that it has to be compatible. So the best way to find out if your Android One device is compatible with the Google Pixel camera is check out XDA Developers website, and I'll leave another link in the description box for that. So I say people gotta do research. If you're tired of not getting updates and you don't want to spend money, $1,000 on a phone that probably won't get updated, I say check out android1.com and follow XDA Developers. Also check out Reddit, because man, you will find so much about Android that you didn't even know was out. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section again. I know I ran it a long time, but it had to be said. It had to be done. All right, it's your boy, Two Phones.